Welcome back to the channel. This is No Luck Trucking. I'm Matt, and we're still on vacation. So we got a chuck roast over there, some ribs, some pork ribs over there. Just kind of letting them do their thing. We've been working on this thing over here quite a bit. Got the AC working, which is nice since it's getting a little warmer. But also we're gonna, next time we're off in July, we're gonna take the car down to Virginia Beach. So it's it'll be nice to have AC on it. So we raised it up a little bit to make it a little more practical. Ended up, let's see, this gauge cluster with the two gauges to monitor air fuel ratio and oil pressure. I got that put in yesterday. Need to add one more sensor to get that all working. But up until about 10 minutes ago, we still hadn't heard anything from the dealership about the truck. So I ended up calling the dealership because they've had our truck almost 2 weeks now. And I was getting kind of concerned because we do have some loads booked for picks up Saturday. So we need to really have the truck ready by Friday. It's currently Wednesday, I think. I'm not 100% sure. So we gave them until, I called them last Friday because I hadn't heard anything. He said they hadn't gotten it back in to work on it. Or no, so I called Thursday, yeah, and they said they were going to bring it in Friday to check it out because they did the initial diagnosis, which is basically listening for the fan and saying, yep, it's on, you know, which obviously we know it's on. Everyone knows it's on. Even the people that watch the videos were telling us that it was on. So then Monday we called and I was like, hey, I just want to get an update if you guys had gotten it in, whatever. And he said, yeah, so we figured out that it needs the control module, which is what I thought. And also they're going to order a wiring harness for it, just to kind of solve it all, because last time they worked on it, they kind of routed it weird and the wires were starting to rub, which I had fixed, but they just want to replace it all to bring it all back to, I guess, factory specs or whatever you want to consider it. But just called about 10-15 minutes ago and sounds like they're done. So she was like, yeah, it's all warranty. So hopefully when we leave out of here and it's warranty, it's going to stay warranty instead of them trying to charge us several days later. So we're going to finish lunch and then go pick up the truck, and I'll run down the work order and see what they replaced, see if there's anything else, and you know, I guess pop the hood, make sure everything looks good, because with the motors, with as much just general vibration that it puts out, everything has to be really secure, because if there's any amount of movement in like wiring harnesses or anything, it'll just rub right through, right down the metal, and that's not good. So we're gonna eat and then we'll pick up a little bit later. Probably when we get down to the dealership, we'll pick it up. We got the truck back. So we were talking to the people. So this the fan controller wasn't the issue. There's a little wiring harness, like a little jumper harness, that connects the fan control module to like the main harness, and he said that it had an internally broken wire. So I had gone through the wires and made sure they weren't rubbing through, and I fixed the ones that were. But they also replaced the bracket that they originally broke the first time we took it in, that mounts the actual fan control module to the plate. That was about $400, but they covered it under warranty since it was broken clean off, and I mean, they literally did it. But that's neither here nor there. I wasn't in the mood to argue that point. They just covered everything, and apparently it's a bulletin now for the fan. So if anybody else experiences this going forward, they're not going to have as much of a issue. Like, they act like they've never heard of it before, and that it was like super new and we we're making it up, even though it like literally happened. So I think what was happening last time they troubleshot it, and when we were putting up with it, like it would come on and go off sometimes, and then if you moved it around, which led me to believe that it was a wiring issue, which I went through the harness, but obviously you can't find breaks in the middle of the harness that aren't rubbed through, other than running continuity tests through it, but I didn't get into all that because it was staying on. So it is fixed so far, we think. So just idling, I don't hear it now, but we're gonna get on the road and head back to the house, and we'll see. I gotta remember what it even feels like to drive the truck without the high-speed fan blaring the entire time. So should be good. We'll pick up when we get to the house. All right, got the truck back to our parking spot. The batteries were so dead. You could probably individually count the rotations of like every piston going up and down. It was so slow. I honestly didn't think it was going to start at first, because it did that like cranking but no fuel type, but it was so slow cranking. But it fired off, and yeah, we drove it for about 30 minutes. It's weird after driving the truck for like 2 months with the fan on all the time. It was really weird. Like, it's like, obviously semi trucks are not quiet when you're going down the road, but it was like peacefully quiet. It was about where, you know, obviously where it's supposed to be, you know, just all you can hear is the motor. It was good. I'm glad there's a service bulletin now for other people that have this issue, especially when it first starts. It's intermittent, I guess, before the wire breaks completely. You know, if you wiggle it a certain way, it will work. So the last time we took it in, everything was working when we left. And then I guess the zip tie broke that they had wired up at some point. So it moved that wire, I guess, that was broken internally. And that's what started going. And then I put the unit back up on the pedestal and zip tied it, and it was working again. But then after a while, it just stayed on. I moved it all around. I checked to make sure there was no wires that were rubbed through. I think I left the report on the truck, but basically it just showed that they probed all the wires and tested it, and everything checked good. And then they saw the service bulletin. It had the same exact symptoms, so they replaced the bracket and that wiring harness for us. So
will it matter at all, the logs, since you're gonna have a 34 before we go back out?
No.
Like, you don't have to send them the receipt, right?
Not really. So obviously when shops test drive your truck, you know, it clicks you on to a drive status, and then 5 minutes after they park it, it switches you over to on duty. So I was on duty for like a week.
Or if you're logged out,
yeah,
it says...
if you're logged out, then there's unassigned drive time, and you have to like send the ELD company a receipt that you were in the shop for them to like delete the unassigned time. So I don't think we need to really bother with that, since I'm gonna get a 34. It really doesn't make a difference if they assign that time to me or whatever.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know how it goes legally, but it's almost better to just have you logged in, since you're gonna have time to get a 34. That way we don't have to deal with the unassigned driving time.
We'll probably shoot the thing over to like logs and see what they want us to do about it. Because I mean, I didn't assign the drive time, and we were under shop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I didn't sign out completely of the ELD, because honestly, I really didn't think it was going to take more than a day. But here we are.
I wonder if that accident was if this gets you past that accident. Maybe.
It does.
Yeah, I guess it was between those two exits. Yeah.
Yeah. So that as we were coming back, there's an accident on 81 Surprise. South. Yeah, going the other way. But where we got on to the interstate was the exit right after the accident. So we didn't see it when we left out of here, but then when we take the truck to our spot, it's 2 miles down from that exit. So the accident is literally in between those two exits. So everyone was getting off at the exit that we normally do to park the truck, and then they were turning down Route 11, which is this route that runs from where we parked the truck over to the house. It was super busy.
The 81 before 81 was there.
Yeah. Route 11 was the main thoroughfare through this area before 81, and that runs pretty much the length of the entire state, right?
Yeah, I can't really think of exactly where it. I feel like it just goes the whole way.
It pretty much runs parallel with 81 the majority of the way until you get to those little towns and it winds around, but still most of the way it runs parallel with 81. So if you're ever stuck there, you can typically get off on 81, but it's slow speeds. You go through a lot of towns, and when there's accidents, everyone else is doing the same, and you just can't get through lights. It sucks. Even waiting at that light to go park our truck was like 10 times longer than it would normally take because there's so many trucks and so much truck traffic getting off the interstate. But you know, so I think I'm going to get this video up. We need to pack the truck up tomorrow and get ready to get down to North Carolina. Pretty much where we ended the last video is where we're picking up the next one.
Where we ended last
And we have already started calling on loads after this because, like we had talked about in this market, if you're booking day of, you've already lost. So we have booked 3 loads now altogether.
Well, 3 if we're including the one.
Yeah. We haven't picked it up.
Yeah, we haven't picked it up yet.
So
But
3 loads altogether.
that one this morning, I'm assuming since she confirmed that rate was correct.
Oh yeah, that one.
Know,
Yeah, oddly enough.
It's encouraging to get more money than you expected.
Yeah, we booked a load that was good. I mean, it was over $3 a mile, and then now it's booked for more. When we got the Raycon, it was more, and we were like, huh, that's weird. But Liz confirmed with the lady. She was like, yeah, I was able to get more money.
Yeah, so
right
direct
on.
shipper and all that. So
yeah, it was a direct shipper. So now it's like $3.50 a mile. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I mean, right now $3.50 is pretty good.
With some decent miles on it, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty easy. It's live unload on both ends.
Oh yeah, because we're doing to a job site.
Yeah, it was to Home Depot, which we absolutely hate.
I panicked.
So we were like, man, we're gonna lose our trailer probably. But when you look up the street view, it hasn't been built yet, and it is not an active Home Depot yet. Yeah. So we looked at the place that we're picking up from, and it's like warehouse racks and things like that. So we're bringing them parts of the store to like set up stuff. So should be good. So thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.